If you guys love silver and want updated on a daily basis, then you've come to the right channel. My name is Silver Slayer. I post silver videos every single day of the week. So make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you immediately get updated and notified anytime anything important comes out. And since everything affects the price of silver geopolitically, politically, economically, fundamentally, you'll get the updated news every single day of the week. So make sure you subscribe and definitely click the bell. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, as you listen to me speak, the precious metals markets are going absolutely ballistic. They are genuinely confused. They don't know which direction to go. Up, down, front, center, sideways, in the middle, a little bit crooked. They do not know. Check this out. This is what silver did last night. Over the weekend, markets are closed, open Sunday night. Look what happened. It shot from $25 to almost $26 in hours. We're talking hours. But then shot down to mid 24, lower than where it even started. That's not it though, right? This is probably some corrupt bank like JP Morgan. Look at gold. This week, gold broke through all-time highs. It went from $2,000 to, in hours, $2,200, and then shot back down. What is going on? A little fishy, right? Well, regardless, this is going to be a heavy video, a big video. So grab some popcorn, kick your feet up, and enjoy this stuff. And by the way, some of you already know that I can hook you guys up with silver, gold, and platinum deals. If you email buy.slayer@gmail.com, I can offer you tons of silver deals. And by the way, it's Monday, which means I have new silver, gold, and platinum deals, since every Monday I can offer you those. So there's deals everywhere. We also have the specialized Slayer deal where only my audience can get this, which is Eagles for $4.99 over spot, minimum of 100, but you can buy any amount. I can offer you guys some amazing deals and great it's like buying silver from your best friend instead of some random site online. And I'm so honored to be able to do that. So shout out to Andy Sheckman and Miles Franklin, because that's who I am working with. So regardless, Bank of America is very bullish on silver, saying silver prices will see steady support from EVs, solar in 2024, and could spike with industrial rebound. Bank of America is usually bullish on silver. Almost every year they're very bullish, actually. What are some other banks? Saxo Bank, Bank of America, Citibank is also always very bullish. JP Morgan, of course, they do what they do. So just wanted to go over some of the reasons why Bank of America thinks this. I've covered several different articles from people explaining their thoughts on why they're bullish on silver. I think this will be pretty interesting coming from a bank. We also have another article I'll cover, how silver turns lower after testing 7-month peak. And this article is interesting. Rallying gold and silver is far from over. I want to hear their reasoning as well. This article we might jump into. This is a beautiful article by itself. I might just turn this into a video alone just because there's so much good substance in here. But it's Shift Gold talking about why silver is a real bargain right now. And they go into some very important points. So you can see why this video is going to be great. Make sure you like the video if you enjoy this video, and make sure you subscribe. So yeah. Anyways, silver prices will see steady support from EV, solar in 2024, could spike with industrial rebound. Bank of America. This is where silver takes on a life of its own, folks. And look at this. Look at these supply deficits. Hundreds of millions of ounces in the red. Look at production, though. Look at demand. Look at demand and look at production. Investing 101. Low supply, high demand pushes the price up. That's one of the first things you look at for opportunity or assets that have potential. Low supply, high demand pushes the price up. If something isn't scarce, if it's plentiful, like the dollar, then there's nothing to it, right? There's nothing to it. But when you have something that everyone wants, but there's not much of it, especially something as critical as silver that could have such devastating outcomes if those demands aren't met for the war or for war like I covered yesterday, or for trying to go green, or for solar panels, then you can see what that outcome would look like if that weren't possible, and why silver is even more valuable than just your average metal. It's very important that these companies meet this demand, but the supply is diminishing. When I say record-breaking supply deficits, that record's going to get broken next year, it's looking like. What is that going to look like in 5 years from now? So, Kitco News, silver prices will benefit from the growing demand for EVs and solar panels in 2024 and could get a boost from a potential rebound in industrial demand, according to metal strategists at Bank of America. In the recently published Metals and Mining Outlook for 2024, the analyst said that several of the key factors that supported prices this year in an otherwise weak macro environment should also carry over into 2024. One, green spending is increasingly offsetting weakness in traditional economy, and that's a good point, and that's kind of like how it's all intertwined. And then two, supply growth has generally been underdue, they wrote. While the start of 2024 may be challenging, if those trends are accompanied by three, a wider economic rebound, then mine commodities may push higher again, potentially also supported by four, a weaker U.S. dollar ending the hiking cycle, along with five, an end to destocking. You see how when I say the stars have aligned, the perfect storm is here, the floodgates have opened, everything is looking like silver has opportunity, and then adding in the 2024 election, two wars going on, it is almost inevitable at some point. But next year if silver were to take off next year, it wouldn't be too surprising given the circumstances that we're in right now. And then you want to add on the BRICS nations and all these countries denominating the U.S. dollar and what could happen on that direction, that forefront of things. Man, oh man, we're in some trouble. Unless you buy gold and silver, you're not. But the analyst said that silver prices have found solid support above $20, but have struggled to move higher despite limited output from miners and growing demand from green technologies. This has been heavily influenced by weak industrial production and a lack of investor interest globally. Why would miners look for silver when gold is 80 times more valuable and silver is just as hard to find? Why would they have any motivation to do so? They're looking for gold, lead, zinc. If they find silver, they'll take it. Silver's a byproduct. They find silver by accident. And the charts blatantly show that, and it's not new news. Silver's always been a byproduct. Most silver is found by accident. You could throw in recycling a little in there, but they also said investor interest globally is lacking. But just wait till silver breaks above $26, heading towards $30. Everyone will jump on the silver bandwagon so fast. And then when you incorporate not only investors, you incorporate big business, you can see how that domino effect happens and why we'll see record-breaking supply deficits again. Where are they going to come up? If we exceeded 1.21 billion ounces in demand, but production on a good year annually is around 850 million ounces, where in the world are they going to come up? What's going to be the demand by the year 2027? 2 billion ounces? I mean, solar panel production is up, 50% this year? By 2030, every automobile company will be electric. So demand will be, 1.5 billion? 2 billion? But we can barely even make 850 million, so hundreds upon hundreds of millions of ounces in the red, and all the silver is getting thrown away in landfills never to be recycled. Think about that. And it's a byproduct, and it's getting harder to find, and people aren't selling it, they're holding it. So when assessing the state of the silver market, analysts said they focus on three key areas: mine supply, industrial demand, and green demand. That's what I look at as well. It's good. See, they know what they're talking about. Regarding mine supply, in contrast to gold, much larger share of silver production is consumed rather than put in storage. That means base metals, price of white metal, tend to be driven by market balances, right? Gold is more of a monetary metal. It's stored in vaults and it's worn on your wrists and ears and necklaces, and it's mainly just sitting around for fashion and for store of wealth, where silver is more used in electronics, which means it's thrown away, never to be remelted like coins and jewelry and bars are. Gold keeps getting recycled and remelted again and again. So that ounce of gold that gets dug up out of the ground will stay in circulation for centuries. That ounce of silver will be thrown away in a couple decades. So sustained silver prices declines 10 years ago ultimately prompted production cuts. These curtailments have, and when they say that, they're talking about, $50 silver in 2011, and then you can see how it dropped so low after that, why it might not be as, pun intended, as shiny. So the curtailments have helped rebalance the market, laying the foundations for the price increases thereafter. Exhibit 85 takes this step further, comparing silver production from the miners covered by our colleagues in equity research with total output. Here's silver production from the largest producers. It will not return to previous highs anytime soon, which is extremely, extremely scary, thinking that demand is going to keep growing year by year. But production is what? Look at that. Around 800 million ounces. 800 million ounces. That's very, very scary when demand is probably going to hit 1.3 billion ounces this year. Who knows? 1.21 was last year or whatever. Who knows? India has been the bright spot in global silver demand in 2023, right? India has been buying all silver. And by the way, India is part of the BRICS nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Why are all the countries in the BRICS buying up all the silver? China's the biggest consumer of silver. Russia's been buying boatloads of silver and gold. They're making a digital currency backed by physical commodities, and they're replacing the dollar, and they're not using it anymore. What does that mean for the U.S. dollar? That's bad news. But there's a negative correlation with silver's prices and the dollar's prices. When silver's down, the dollar's up. When the dollar's up, silver's down. Or when the dollar's down, silver's up. So if we know the dollar is basically going to be replaced, or is actually being replaced literally by other countries, kicking America off to the curb, what does that mean for silver? It's not rocket science. Silver is used for rockets, though. So anyways, EV rates are set to rise above 40% by 2030. Oh my gosh. These numbers do not lie. And anyone who tries to beg to differ to say we have enough silver, you're going off of theory. You're going off of biased opinion. But if you look at the numbers, that is not possible. Anyone who says, oh, we have enough silver, or silver shortage is a myth, or they're exaggerating, look at these numbers. Realistically, don't try to throw in some conspiracy. Just look at these numbers. Because even if the numbers were inflated, regardless, hundreds of millions of ounces in the red year, in the next year is going to be worse. Record-breaking supply deficits, and last several years, mining production is slowing down and decreasing. It won't be going high or reaching highs anytime soon. Be realistic. If you're saying that it's all a myth, that means you're probably biased and won't let go of your ego, because you probably before said that it was a myth and now you don't want to admit you were wrong. So it's a lot of times it's ego driven, or just ignorance or closed-mindedness, and you just won't listen to people like myself, thinking I don't do hours upon hours upon hours of research every day. You just see some young kid thinking that I just found silver last year, not knowing that I've been studying this for several years, probably longer than that person has. And it's just it's silly. It's silly, right? You don't, especially if you have an audience and a platform. If you're going to do your homework, make sure you get the answers correctly, especially if you're going to be publishing this stuff. Come on, guys. The numbers don't add up. It's just not possible. So anyways, we'll go into the second article real quick. Or actually, I want to go into this one. Rally for gold and silver is far from over. Underlying reasons these metals will continue to rise is fairly transparent, right? I mean, everyone's been very, very vocal on this. So this is the meat and potatoes. High usage as a major industrial component had strong demand. According to the World Council, the pace at which central banks worldwide have been accumulating gold is a new record of astute investors who need to step back and wonder why. Exactly. If gold and silver is so bland and it's not worth anything, then why are all the banks and the wealthiest people in the world accumulating so much of it? It's like they know something we don't. Like Andy Schectman says, price is the greatest tool of misdirection. If you want people to think something's not worth much, if the price is low, they won't think so because they determine value with dollars, even though the dollar has no value. See what I'm saying? So they go into decline the dollar, imminent pivot by Federal Reserve, and officials are beginning to speak out, which then in return will cause more fear, uncertainty, doubt, pushing precious metals as a safe haven higher. And you could see how everything, this domino effect falls apart, and why you should own silver right now, because it's extremely undervalued. And if you think it's not, then please just go somewhere, because that means you don't understand, one, the dollar's true value, and even more importantly, two, you don't understand silver's true value. And you'll probably lose a lot of money if you think that $25, $26, even $29, even $35, if you think that's too pricey, you got to reanalyze what you think price is and what determines value. What determines value? Let me repeat that. What determines value? Looking forwards. See what I'm saying? Anyways, folks, buy.slayer@gmail.com. If you guys want to purchase some of this shiny stuff, I got some deals. And I'll make sure I respond to you guys in a timely manner. Every email, and I do phone calls. Every email, I take my time. I work with you. It's not just some robotic message. Hey, here's a price. No, I'm talking. I'm putting thought. I'm putting time in working with you. And, I think that's important. And that's how Andy Schectman is. And I want to represent his company in the way he does. And, it's genuine. It's coming from a loving place. It's not just trying to rip dollars out of your pocket. That's not the point. The point is to be able to offer someone a safe, trusted place to buy. And it's like buying from your friend, because you know me. And if something were to happen, God forbid, you could call me and say, hey, what's up with my package? Or I got, online, you can't really do that. Customer service is a nightmare. And a lot of times they won't even respond or try, it's just a nightmare. So I want to take that nightmare away and turn it into a very good dream, not a bad dream, right? So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Make sure you subscribe. I post daily videos. This is Silver Slayer. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.